Joining me now is Republican Senator of South Carolina, Lindsey Graham. Senator, thank you so much for being here tonight. I know that you were at the border in Arizona last week. We will talk about that in just a second. But first, your reaction to this crisis that we've seen before now under the Biden administration.
Well, the worst is yet to come. The Biden administration's done everything but put a neon sign flashing, "Come on in." I was just dumbfounded by what I found at the border. The asylum seekers are coming again. So what happened in the old system? If you could get 1 foot, Katie, into the United States and claimed asylum, you would be processed in the United States. You would be released, and your court date would be 4 years in the future. Nobody would ever show up, ankle braces included. So what did Trump do? He said, if you come here seeking asylum, we're going to keep you in Mexico, and you got to wait there to your court hearing. Guess what? People are not going to pay $20,000 to come from Central America to sit in Mexico for 4 years, so it shut the asylum claims off. They're about to do away with the Remain in Mexico policy. The word is out all over Central America that the asylum laws are about to change, deportations are stopping, and they literally have stopped building the wall. There's a section of wall near Nogales, Arizona, on the Mexican-U.S. border where they have holes in the wall big enough to get tank columns through. The panel is sitting there waiting to be put up, but they just won't put it up. So this is a formula for disaster. It's a witch's brew, and the Biden administration is clueless when it comes to what they're doing.
You know, Senator, I think the American people get very frustrated with this topic because it's a big, complex topic that gets politicized for elections, and therefore nothing ever gets done. And we continue to have these conversations about the crisis. And I want to talk tonight about what we're seeing right now in places like Texas with unaccompanied minors getting to the border in January last month, 5,800 of them. Let's talk about how they don't just show up at the border. They're not getting dropped off by their parents. They're getting smuggled to the border. Their parents are not with them, and then they're oftentimes, at least during the Obama administration, getting placed with sponsors who happen to be sex offenders or exploiting them for labor purposes. So now here we are with the Biden White House saying we have to keep these people and these children in these facilities, which they previously called concentration camps, because we have this problem. So talk about the issue of unaccompanied minors specifically, since we're seeing that spike.
Okay, number one, word is out in Central America that the policies are changing. So during the Trump administration, we would take the unaccompanied minor and we'd send them back to their home country. We actually had agreements with the Northern Triangle countries that you could apply for asylum there regarding the United States, and you never have to come into our country. And we also had an agreement to send the kids back. So what you see is you see thousands of unaccompanied minors coming to our border, turning themselves in. We're going to hold them and release them into the country. 98% of them will stay in America, and here's the untold story. Most of them have family in the United States. This is a business, and the cartels are in this business big time, and a lot of these girls are getting abused. And what the Biden administration is doing is they're turning on the faucet again at every level, and people are responding, and it's a real tragedy in the making.
Oh, and many of the family members who are here illegally. But I want to talk about the Democrats' hypocrisy on this, because they've used some very incendiary rhetoric. The Biden campaign used this rhetoric to beat Donald Trump. They use the compassionate argument. Let's play some of what Democrats have said about these facilities that the Biden administration now is using.
The United States is running concentration camps on our southern border, and that is exactly what they are. They are concentration camps.
These are like concentration camps, and I'm not afraid to use that word.
There are camps, and people are being concentrated. This is very simple.
For 40 years before Auschwitz, we had concentration camps. What we're doing now fits very cleanly inside that tradition.
So, Senator, they're now calling the same exact facilities influx centers now that it's Biden.
Yeah, hypocrisy runs rampant here. So Kamala Harris, when she was running for president, actually protested outside of the Miami facility where they were holding unaccompanied minors. That facility is now open. AOC called the facility in Texas a concentration camp. At least she's consistent about complaining. But I just got back from the border. I spent time with the Border Patrol agents, the Customs and Border agents who secure our border and collect the customs and duties and protect us. It was miserable for them to be compared to Nazi concentration camp guards. These people are great patriotic Americans doing the best they can, being overwhelmed, and to be treated that way is just unbelievable. But where are these critics now? Where are you now? The Biden administration is doing the same damn thing. So here's my suggestion to the Biden administration. Look at the Trump policies that worked, re-implement them, sit down with Republicans like me and see if we can fix the thing.
Yeah, well, you mentioned where are the critics? Where have they been? Where are they now? They've been there in the past. You had Glenn Greenwald tweeting about this exact thing with the media. He said, it's not an exaggeration. I've seen more news articles in the last 48 hours discussing how complex, difficult, challenging, and vexing is the problem of minors and other immigrants at the border than I did in the prior 4 years combined. Wonder why? And this reminds me of 2014 when Town Hall, where I work, where I write and report on a lot of issues, we published some of the first photos from these initial crisis when it came to unaccompanied minors. So why is it that all of a sudden the media is changing their tune?
Because Trump is gone. Trump actually found a way to work with Mexico to help everybody. Mexico said, okay, we'll take care of these asylum seekers so they don't overrun your country. You help us. He actually had agreements with Northern Triangle nations like Honduras where you could apply for asylum there and not overrun our border. He actually improved the economies of the Northern Triangle countries. The criticism against Trump was over the top, and here's what's so sad and quite frankly dangerous. Biden is undoing everything that Trump did that worked. There's a disaster in the making at the border. If they don't change these policies, by the summer there's going to be 1 million people overrunning our border. Their girls are going to be taken down these trails and raped and abused. And again, the Biden administration has done everything they can but put up a neon sign on the border saying, come on in.
All right, well, we'll leave it there. Obviously, this is something that many administrations have struggled with, that Congress has struggled with, and we will certainly be following in the future. Senator Graham, thank you so much.
Thank you.